Is Amanda Reimer here, and I wanted to cut this quick video actually to talk a little bit more about Chapter 4 of The Science of Getting Rich. I've been doing kind of a series of blog posts and a few different videos on various chapters in The Science of Getting Rich, just because I was so intrigued by it, and I listened to it on audio, the audio version, and actually decided to break it down chapter by chapter, which has been awesome because I've been able to really listen to it and kind of write out what I hear, and then I put that either in a video or a blog post. And so I've been really getting down to it on a different level, so it's been very interesting. But anyways, I wanted to talk specifically about chapter 4, which in the book is when Wallace Wattles, the author, will reveal the first principle of the science of getting rich. The first couple chapters, which you see in my blog post, are kind of getting you prepped for him revealing the first principle of the science of getting rich. But in this chapter, basically talks about a few different ideas, and the one idea is that there is a formless substance, if you will, and they kind of refer to that, which seems kind of weird, but that is where everything comes from, or a thinking substance. And when we hold thoughts, basically that we can think whatever we want to think, and that will become something. When you hold thoughts in this thinking substance, it produces shapes and it creates the things that we want to create in our life. And really, it makes sense because if I know I've heard, maybe you've heard, is that you are what you think about. You are what you surround yourself and what you think about. That's what kind of becomes in your life, and that's exactly what he's talking about here. But beyond that, it is also dwelling on that, and dwelling is maybe a bad word, but focusing on that and holding your intention with that. And then in the next couple chapters talks a little bit more about taking action, because it's not just sitting there thinking about it all the time and meditating on it, but it's also taking action towards that. But then he talked about it specifically, has a few examples of that. We have our thoughts that we want to create, but then society presents an appearance. It presents something, maybe an opposing idea or an opposing thought that doesn't match up with our thought. And really, you have to be strong to hold to your thoughts and be faithful to your thoughts and believe in your thoughts if that's what you truly want, and not give in to the appearance of maybe what society is presenting. The exact examples that he did give was talking about disease. That, if you give into the ideas or the forms of disease and think about disease and maybe let that consume you, that's what eventually comes over, instead of thinking about your health and being grateful for your health and having a healthy body. And the same with poverty and riches. If you're constantly being fed, which by society that's very easily possible, on the news, on the radio, or with people in your life, wherever it might be, that there isn't enough, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough jobs, the economy's in the tank, whatever it might be. If you're trying to create riches for yourself and create a better life for yourself, but you're still all listening to these negative vibes and just the negative words of the media or maybe even people in your life, you're succumbing to that appearance, which is the appearance of poverty, when really you're striving for riches. So I just thought it was very interesting, the examples that he gave, because it still applies today, even though he wrote this book over 100 years ago. Is just, I guess, how knowledgeable that he was at that point in time, that we can still apply these principles today. But really, it's just about creating that thought, or having the thought of what you want to be, that you want to get rich, or maybe you want a different job, or whatever it is in your life, but creating that thought and holding that thought and not letting anything outside of that disturb that, or disturb your faith in it, or disturb your willingness to do whatever it takes to get there. So I hope that was helpful, kind of in breaking it down a little bit. I know that I enjoyed the examples. But if you do have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in my comment section here, either below, if you're seeing this on my blog, below my blog post, if you're seeing this maybe on YouTube in the comment section. Would love to hear what you think. So until next time, I hope that you have a great rest of your evening. I guess it's night here for me. And I will talk to you soon.